I love that we all come together to support one another to help really drive and boost the industry that we are in. Afternoon. Hope you're all having a great day and happy Easter. Valerie is here. She will be presenting to you her top tips to inspire, motivate and succeed as a manager. So, hi Valerie, thanks for joining. Oh, Valerie, you're on mute. Just unmute you. Hi Valerie, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Brilliant. Technology is an amazing thing. Right, over to you, Valerie. I will come off the camera and I will see you afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. Thanks for joining. I'm so happy to be here today. It makes being on my own on Easter far more enjoyable. So thank you again for joining. Thank you, Professional Beauty. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, all of you. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Valerie Reynaert. I am the founder of VR Beauty Consulting. I have over 20 years of experience in the beauty salon industry. I started my career as a beauty therapist, so I do understand very well what's going on, on the work floor. So over the years, I have moved into managing salon chains, and from very early on, I created a passion for great leadership, for being a great leader. So in my career, I've been very lucky that I have been exposed to many great leaders. And now, I love having the ability to share what I know with so many others. So, I love helping others develop themselves. So that's one of the reasons why I have started my own consulting business. I want to inspire women. I want to inspire women, especially here in the Gulf region, to open their own salon business if this is an ambition they have. And I want to empower women to, so they will have, the courage and the strength to reach for their dreams. And I want to share my knowledge and expertise so each one of you can plot your own success story. So when Professional Beauty, when Emma asked me to run a webinar focusing on managers, I thought, what would be, the best subject to talk about? As we are all locked in our houses, it is important to stay inspired and motivated every single day. So I thought, why not focusing on motivation? Why not get you through the process of how you and your team can become highly motivated at work? Yeah, thinking about how the whole process of motivation at work actually works might get you inspired and motivated during those long days at home. And once you're back at work, you will have the whole plan ready to lift up your team and strive towards bigger success. So I do hope that you have pen and notebook at the ready. So I'm looking forward to hear your questions at the end of the session. I'm looking forward to answer any questions around how you can become a better manager and how you can manage your team in a better way. So I hope you are ready to be inspired, to be informed, and to be educated. So let's do this. As a manager, it is not only important to be motivated yourself, but one of your most important job responsibilities is to motivate your team. Because motivated people will not only perform better, they will do it with joy. They will be eager not only to grow as an individual, but as well to grow the business. So how do you motivate someone? Before we explore that, I need to mention something very important, and that is that without creating a nice work environment for your team, it will be very difficult to get anyone motivated. So why don't you start thinking this through? Yeah, so is there currently a nice atmosphere in the salon? Are people treated well? And very important, who are you as a manager? How are you as a manager? What type of manager are you? Are you very bossy and demanding, or are you the target focused one with an open door policy and showing empathy? Yeah, throughout my career, I learned that the latter is the best way to act as a manager, to be able to deliver the best results. Care about your people. Yeah, spend time with them to understand them, to know what goes on in their lives, to know what happens on the work floor, and to know what they are passionate about. Yeah, when you are good with your people, they will go the extra mile for you. Do always remember that the majority of your team members have no family here. Yeah, so it makes it extra important to really care about them. So just to give you one example, from my career is that, not so long ago, I paid a visit to one of the salons that I used to manage. And, it was a surprise visit and, it was a really happy reunion. But when I asked the girls, why they were less driven and why they seemed less happy than before, they answered as following. They said, whenever you came to visit us, whenever you managed us, you always cared about us. Yeah, you would come and visit our salon and you would ask each one of us how we were doing. You would ask about our kids, you would ask about our family. So, once you had spoken to each one of us and, you showed that you care, then you started talking about the achievements, if we achieved or did not achieve targets, so then it was when the serious talking started. But you always first, showed that you cared about us. And that's what was driving us. So, I was very touched by these words, but, at the other side, it made me feel sad as well to know that there are still so many leaders out there only caring about themselves and not about their people. So please do think this through over the coming days. What kind of manager are you? How do you treat your team? And remember the word empathy. Yeah, it is so important. Again, care about your people and they will care about you and your business. Yeah, so that being said, let's now look at the different ways, to motivate that beautiful team of yours. So there are actually, I would say 2 ways that you can motivate them. So one way is to motivate your team with money-related incentives. And the other way is to motivate them by engaging their mind, by letting them follow their passions. Yeah, so the money-related motivators are salaries, commission, yearly bonuses, or, one-off bonuses. So those for sure are really important, but they aren't the biggest drivers to get motivated. They usually work for short-term achievements, but on the long run, more and more money isn't what will really drive your people day in and day out. So they can, they actually also can really encourage an ethical behavior. So I think you had a lot of occasions where, staff would start fighting for clients, unfortunately. Yeah, so they can also crush creativity, and in our business, creativity is so important. So, but, it can crush creativity because the mind would be too much focused on the money. So, don't understand me wrong. It is, of course, very important that people get a salary or work on a commission basis, but this is the baseline. Yeah, you need to make sure that your team members are paid fairly as well. Yeah, if someone feels that she is underpaid, and if she's correct about that, yeah, her focus will be on that. Yeah, hence it will be very difficult, most of the time impossible, to get that person motivated. So, I do hope that, fair pay is part of your salon culture. If not, then you might have to get this fixed first, yeah, before you can move on to the next part. But in case you have a fair salary structure in place, it is time to look into how you can motivate yourself and your team on the long run. So start with asking yourself the question, what motivates me to get the best out of myself? Yeah, whatever it is that motivates you. Is it, developing your technical skills or the technical skills of your team, becoming the artistic director of the salon you work at, anything, so, but what is it that motivates you? And that is what we call your purpose. Yeah, this purpose is what will bring motivation. Yeah, striving to achieve this purpose, will actually give meaning to your work. It will bring fulfillment. Yeah, once you figured out what will bring meaning to your work, you will get out of bed every morning with a big smile on your face. Yeah, happy knowing that you have a fun and exciting day ahead at work. Feeling energized, by your work is simply the best experience of getting rewards directly from the work that you're doing. So this is a great question to ask yourself over the coming days. Take the time to come up with answers. Don't rush, because it is very important for you that that you figure out what it really is that motivates you. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you can figure it out. Yeah, doing the exercise for yourself as a manager is of high importance, because if you don't know what motivates you, what your purpose is, how can you start the next step of figuring out what motivates your team? So before we move on to that, there is another very important matter. Besides knowing what motivates you, besides figuring out what your purpose is, you need to know as well what the purpose is of the salon you are working at. Yeah, this is what we call the salon mission. So for those of you who don't know what a mission statement is, I'll quickly explain. So a salon mission statement is a short summary of why a salon exists, what the goal of the salon is, and how this goal is achieved. So what is it that you do, and why are you doing it? So let me just give you a few examples. I just picked some, random salon statements of some salons. So one is, for example, together as a team, we strive to achieve excellence and constantly improve our artistry to enrich and nourish our clients' experience. I would say it's a beautiful statement. It's a beautiful mission. So here, the salon mission is to deliver outstanding customer service by achieving excellence and by continuously improving their artistic side. So another example of one salon mission statement is, we aim at elevating our guests inside and out. Be your best self, live your best life. So here they don't only want to make their customers look good, but also feel good. Yeah, by making them inside and out the best version of themselves, they want them to be able to live their best life. So does the salon where you work have a mission statement? If no, this is something I highly recommend you to work on over the coming days. Yeah, if your salon has a mission statement, do you know it? Do you know what the mission statement is of the salon that you work at? Yeah, do you know it by heart? Can you say it out loud? Does your team know the salon mission by heart? Yeah, it is very important to stand 100% behind the salon purpose, behind the salon mission. It is very important that you believe in it and that you make your team believe in it, because this is where employee engagement starts. Believing in the same purpose changes the relationship between team members, yeah, including the relationship between you as a leader and the rest of the team, because you all believe in the same thing and you are all working towards achieving the same. So again, it is important that everyone knows the salon mission by heart and that they 100% believe in it. So once you have determined what your purpose is, what motivates you, and you have fully embraced the Salon's mission, it is time to find out what motivates your team members. Yeah, the first step is to talk to each one of them individually. Find out what inspires them, what they are passionate about, and what they care about most in their work. As you do this, you will probably find that some of your employees aren't able to answer very directly. Yeah, some may just be discovering that they have passions for their work, and others will know that they have passions, but they won't be able to label them very well. So again, as well as you have those conversations, you might find, that some employees have settled for a job that does not fulfill their passions because they never believed that work could be fulfilling. So to get to their passions, you might talk with them about their dreams, because dreams are more directly related to passions. Yeah, you will feel the difference in tone, the difference in energy level, and even in their posture when people talk about their passions and about their dreams. So once you have figured out what it is that drives them, make a plan to develop their passions. Maybe someone is passionate about training others. So why not developing a training program so she can start training other team members? So very important is that you will allow each team member to develop their passion, to focus on it, and to grow in it. Once people can focus on what they enjoy the most, once they can feel creative and inspired by what they do, you will get them so motivated. Yeah, and when people are motivated and feel happy, they don't see it as work. They will work from the heart, and believe me, it will reflect in your business numbers. Happy employees is happy customers, is happy bosses. Another very important matter to make sure people will strive to achieve, is it achieving their own purpose, or is it continuously strive to achieve the Salon's mission, is to let them self-manage. I am a strong believer of self-management. I do believe this is the way to get the best out of each one of your team members. It is important to let people self-manage. This means to let people take ownership of what they do. Yeah, to let people make their own decisions. Self-management drives employee engagement. They feel much more engaged because they can take responsibility and ownership in everything that they do. Besides that, if your team will be able to self-manage, it will take a lot of work away from you, as you won't need to keep watching over them. You no longer need to make decisions for them. Yeah, it will give you so much more time to focus on other parts of the business. So what is needed for people to be able to self-manage? The first step, as you know, we talked about it, is to be committed to a meaningful purpose. Yeah, so, we went through this already, and at this point, you will have figured out what the Salon mission is and what your and your team members' individual purposes are. The Salon mission is the one purpose everyone needs to be committed to. This will be the main aim for every employee to achieve this mission every day. Yeah, besides that, everyone has their own passions to follow, their own development plan that keeps them motivated. So once everyone is committed to the purpose, the second step of self-management is deciding how to make it happen. Yeah, so what will we do to accomplish it? So you can be a micromanager where you leave little choice to your employees, which I highly recommend you not to do. Or you can delegate where you give them a lot of choice. And yes, this is what I definitely recommend you to do. Everyone needs to have a certain freedom to decide how she does her work, how she completes her own tasks. As we work in a service business, we never know what situations will come up. Yeah, our clients' needs and demands are all different. So our business and our employees require to be considerably flexible to customize the service to what the client needs and what the client wants. Yeah, you need to allow your team to take responsibility and ownership in any situation they face. Yeah, you need to let your team think out the box, take instant decisions, give them some freedom, because this freedom is important as well, you know, because it brings innovation, it brings continuous improvement, and it brings client satisfaction. So give your people a choice, give them some freedom. Now we have committed, you know, now we have everyone committed to the purpose, and they have received the freedom to make their own choices. They do need to have, of course, you know, the ability to perform those tasks. Yeah, they need the competence. So as a manager, as a business, you need to provide the knowledge and skills. This, you know, you can bring through training courses, but you can also transfer knowledge that already exists within your team. So what can they learn from each other, and what can they learn from you? Important as well is to give them feedback. Yeah, the worst mistake you can make as a manager is not to say, well done. In any situation, you can focus on positive or on the negative, because both are usually there. But remember, positive feedback increases the feeling of competence. Negative feedback undermines it. So people are much more sensitive to negative feedback than they are to positive feedback. So if you want to increase their sense of competence, you will want to focus on the positive that they have accomplished. Yeah, so recognize their skills. If you give someone recognition, you are strengthening the message that good work is important, that good work is valued, and that good work is noticed. Yeah, that you are appreciating their efforts and accomplishments. Yeah, so be generous in recognizing the competence of your team members. Last but not least, yeah, the last part of self-management is checking if progress is being made. Yeah, are accomplishments being made? This involves making assessments of how it is going, you know, together with willing to take actions to make changes whenever it's required. So all Salon missions have the purpose, you know, at least that's what I would believe, to deliver client satisfaction. So one way of checking if everyone is accomplishing the mission is through customer feedback after they have, you know, received the service. So learn from all feedbacks you receive. Yeah, when a feedback is positive, it means your efforts are working the way that you expected them to work. So positive feedback strengthens work habits and our commitments. So it is important to always share positive feedback, you know, all positive feedback with your team. When feedback is negative, that's when someone's real strengths show up. Yeah, when we get negative feedback, it means that something isn't working. That's how uncertainties show up, because the expected did not happen. So when this happens, we need to look up to see what happened. Yeah, try to understand why, and come to an understanding that what we believed, you know, what we believed in doesn't work the way that we expected. So we need to adjust. And if this adjustment works, you know, we come out stronger. So always remember that feedback creates more responsive and adaptive behavior, bringing important ways of learning. So capture all the learning and share with everyone on the team. Yeah, a great idea is to recap, you know, all these lessons learned during the weekly team meetings. So having walked you through the whole self-management process, I hope you can see how self-management results in employee engagement. Yeah, rather than simply going through the motion of doing a good enough job, employees are engaged in their work when they are committed to the purpose, when they are using their own minds and intelligence to make choices about how they will deliver the best service. Yeah, employees are more committed when they are monitoring the work they make, you know, so that they make sure they are performing well. And, when they are checking if their actions are actually accomplishing the purpose and taking the correct action when needed. Yeah, as mentioned earlier, this is the way each team member adds value to the business. I do believe that some of you have been thinking throughout this session, not all my team members are ready to fully self-manage. Yeah, this is where your responsibility comes in. The development of employee self-management is a very important task for you as a manager. It is your responsibility to develop your team members. Self-development is key to their effectiveness and satisfaction, yeah, their level of responsibility, and even their long-term employability. But before ending this session, I will give you the best advice of all. Lead by example. Be a role model for your team. Be a role model for others to copy. So please do know that, I am here to help. So for whatever, wherever, and whenever you need me. So thank you so much for, for being here today, for having joined me. I hope that, I did bring something new to you and that it brings some inspiration to keep busy over the coming days when you are still at home. So again, now if anyone has any questions, this is time to fire away.
Thanks so much, Valerie. Yes, we have a couple of questions. And guys, feel free to use the Q&A box at the bottom or ask away some questions in the chat whilst we've got Valerie with us. Question 1 from Lana. How can we let the staff manage themselves without them being tough-headed?
I don't believe that people have to be tough-headed to be able to self-manage. Yeah, people do need to know what it is that they're going to accomplish. So it comes back to, finding that passion of each team member. Yeah, so the focus, we need as managers to put the focus on, what really inspires each individual that's on our team. Yeah, so once you know that, you develop a plan. So once you develop that plan, your team member as well will feel that you care about them, that you care about their development, and that you care about them being accomplishing something that they care about. So it's really not being tough-headed. It can be somebody, all personalities are different. So it's not only the ones that are loud and that, that really know already what they want, that those are the only people that can self-manage. It's really about, as a manager, again, sit with them, find out what it is that inspires them and build a plan. Again, throughout the way, when, that plan is built and they start to implement it, you need to guide them. Yeah, so for a while you need to guide them until you feel that they are ready to do it all on their own. Yeah, but do be aware that sometimes when we build that and when we focus on our people and see, if they are ready or not, some people start, keep actually being micromanagers. They think that they step away, but they keep, watching over everyone's shoulder. So, once you believe that they are ready, let them self-manage. Give them the freedom as well to make mistakes. Yeah, because mistakes, again, they are there to learn. And if you never let your people self-manage because you're afraid that they will make mistakes, nobody's going to learn from that. Yeah, so I hope that helped.
Brilliant, yeah, fab. Okay, we've got another question that's come through anonymously. How long do you think the results will be seen? So how long will it take, in your opinion, for someone to really grow and evolve as a manager, in your experience?
That's again depending on the plan that you will put in action. Yeah, so again, it's important. That's a good question, because when you put that plan, you need to put timelines to it as well. So let's give an example, somebody that works on the team as an assistant, as a salon assistant, and she wants to grow into becoming, a hair assistant. So you can say, okay, we will put a development plan where first, we will teach her how to blow dry. So then you say, okay, I want her to do so many blow dries a week. And, once she has finished this amount of blow dries, she should actually be able to be, to perform very great blow dries. So then at that point, she should be ready for the next step. Yeah, so it really, again, depends on person to person. You will have people that learn in a second. Yeah, you will have people that it takes longer. So again, that's why it's very important to do this on an individual basis. Yeah, sit with each team member and see, you know, again, what are their abilities right now, and grow from there.
Brilliant. Okay. We have another question that's just popped up in the chat. Can you talk about success stories of staff that grew in their company by adopting these recommendations?
Oh, I have managed about 1,000 staff over the past 15 years. So, I have had a lot of success stories there, yes, indeed. And it is a lot of times people that, that started at the bottom of the salon, and then that, they were inspired, to be a bigger part of the team and to become revenue makers. And so this is where exactly, we put that plan always in place. So I had people that, were actually, again, salon assistants that became, junior stylists, and that's, through development and a lot of trainings that then, became stylists and became big money generators in the company as well. Yeah, I had other people that came in. I had one example of one girl that came in, and she had very basic skills, but she was so driven and she was so eager to learn. So those are the ones that are very important as well. So she came in and she said, I want to learn. I just want to learn. I have a passion for the beauty industry. And, from actually joining the team as an assistant, she became a beauty therapist that made a revenue of approximately 60,000 dirhams a month. Yeah, so it's, again, as a manager, you need to see, what it really is that people drive, and where you can, focus on, where they become very happy, and they become even more driven, which then again will result in the numbers for the business as well.
Yeah. So how, in your experience, what are the qualities that these managers need to have in order to grow? Like, what do you see as in your experience, the key kind of consistent qualities that pop up with people in your salon that would really,
as managers,
allow them to step up?
Yeah, so as managers, I really believe that first of all, they have to have empathy. Yeah, so besides, the skills, the knowledge, being and having, leadership skills and managerial skills, this is one thing that you can learn, and this is something that, currently I'm helping a lot of people with, to develop those managerial skills. At the other side, again, for me, and I booked a lot of success stories with the teams that, I showed a lot of empathy to. Again, care about your people, because everybody is different, and it's very easy as a manager to focus on those that are strong and focus on those that are generating a lot of revenue and that are very good communicators with the customers. But as a manager, it's a very strong skill to care about everyone. And last week I got a question from one of the managers that she said, what do you do with negative people? And a lot of time, it's easier to avoid them, to ignore them. Yeah, but you shouldn't, because those are the ones that you need to turn around. So again, you need to take a lot of time, spend a lot of time with each individual. Yeah, never confront anyone, with when other people are around. Yeah, take the time to sit with them, understand what's going on in their minds, understand what they are expecting, what they want. And in that case, as a manager, if you understand your team and if you know where they want to go to, and if they, again, very important, stand behind, what the salon wants to grow to, then, that's a way for success.
Brilliant. Fab. Okay. I think that's all the questions we have for now, unless anyone wants to quickly pop one in the chat. They've asked for your details. Oh, someone has a question. Please type your question, Noreen, into the chat. I'm going to share with everyone your contact details, Valerie, because a few people in the chat have said that they'd like to connect.
Perfect.
And I don't think, Noreen,
can share my mobile my mobile number. They can reach out on WhatsApp, or if they want to reach out on my Instagram, VR Beauty Consulting, it's fine. So any questions anyone has, send
Sorry,
it.
there is a delay in my machine. Amazing technology. There are a few questions that have just come through. So, Julie, what are your advice to keep the team engaged during this particular time when we are all far from each other?
Well, a few tips that I did give to clients of mine is that keep them inspired. I think this is a beautiful moment. Is it, for example, for hairstylists that they have their doll heads, and that you say, okay, be creative. Just get your inspiration out there and just create something that you really believe it's amazing. Is it a haircut? Is it a hair up? Is it anything? Any techniques that she wants to develop. Because, when they are on their own and they have nobody around them that can actually look over their shoulders and give them any advice, they will just, use their own creativity and their own mind. So and then, maybe when we come out of all of this, it might be that people have created, a signature treatment, a signature service. Is it for nail technicians, which again, I have highly advised, because I figured out that a lot of the girls didn't even know what the trends were for 2020. So I said, get inspired, do your research, what are the trends? And then especially for the nail technicians, create, the designs. So what are the nail arts, the nail designs for 2020? Focus on that. Pick 3 a week, practice. And then, post it on your Instagram, see how, your clients and your followers are reacting to it. So get inspired, but as well, develop yourself. Because I always say companies should really emphasize on development and on trainings for their team. But as a team or as an individual, you always have to focus as well on your individual development. So it's not only waiting for when the company gives you something, also go out there, get inspired, because, it is your industry. And, is it being part of, professional beauty, which is, I always say, it's an amazing community to be part of. Other people will inspire you as well. Yeah, so keep busy. And as a manager, I would say, read. Yeah, just do a lot of reading about, what it is, what it takes to be a good manager. Yeah, or reach out to me, I can give you tips, I can inspire you, I can really help you develop your managerial skills, if that's what you require.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, another question that's come through anonymously. Giving staff the freedom and choice for me does not work because they fight. Even doing team exercises, they still fight. How do you get them to work as a fair team?
I think you will need me to come in and sort this out, because I always say that how a team reacts, I don't know who it comes from, so I do not want to be to say anything wrong, but I do strongly believe, and I have seen that over my 20 years of career, is that the team behaves the way that you as a manager lead. So if you are not a strong manager, and if you are not able to deal with these issues, then I believe that the problem is with you. So it is very important, again, to bring a spirit to the salon and to lead by example. Telling me that your team can't self-manage and you can't give them freedom, I think that there is a really big issue in the management style. So please, whoever you are, reach out to me and I will be happy to help you out.
Perfect. Okay. Another question from Lydia. How do you neutralize passion to ensure that you don't appear aggressive?
Oof, that's an interesting question, because I have never put a link between aggression and passion. So I think anything that you want to take away from being aggressive is that anything you do with a smile. So you smile, usually when you're passionate, it's that energy comes up, and if there is aggressiveness, it's very difficult for me to put that link. Be passionate, always be passionate, and do it with a big smile, and do it with energy, but I have never actually encountered where passion became aggressive. So It's a tough one to answer.
Right, Noreen, to become a manager, is their experience important or is it education?
Oh, to become a manager, I believe that if you have a passion for the beauty industry, and if you have, certain leadership skills, I do believe that, with the right focus and the right training from the company that hires you, that you can get there. There are qualifications that you need to have. Yeah, you need to have very good communication skills. You need to be able to interact well with people. I do believe that it's important to understand, to understand the business as well. Again, a business side you can always learn. I have seen over the years that sometimes people, have more respect when managers come from the same field. But then again, it's easy to turn that around to show the team that, again, you care about them, you can develop them, and you grow. You can make them grow, and you can grow as a team. Yeah. So, I wouldn't say that if you don't have the right communication skills, if you don't have the basics of, running business, it is difficult. But then again, I'm here to help. Yeah. So I could develop you in any way.
Perfect. Okay. One more question that's come through anonymously. I'm guessing this will help with reducing my staff turnover and losing people to competitors. Is this your experience?
Definitely. I'm always going to say that, the competition is out there. Yeah. And for a very long time in this region, people were, salon owners were scared of sending their team, for trainings because, once they're trained, they will get in contact, with other salon owners and other stuff from other salons. So, they might come and take them away. The thing is that, first of all, you don't want people on your team that are not trained. Yeah. So, but secondly, it is your responsibility that the people want to stay with you. Yeah, so give them reasons to stay with you. If you are a good manager, if you are a good leader, again, if you treat them with empathy and you give them, the focus on what really inspires them and motivates them, and you develop them, they have no reason to go anywhere else. Yeah, people leave because they're not happy. So make sure that you give them enough to stay happy. Yeah, because again, happy staff is happy customers and is happy business. Yeah.
Right. Okay. One more question. What's the best plan you suggest for managers to follow it once the salon is opened again to bring back that passion and positive spirit in them?
So, what I highly recommend is that actually you start thinking everything that, I said today, to think that through. And to start with yourself, because, again, it's very important. We will all come out of the same situation. Yeah. So again, some people have taken it more positive. The other, some people, they just sit in a corner and they feel sorry for the whole situation. Yeah. So for now, you as a manager, make sure that you keep that motivation. So figure out for yourself, what you want. Yeah, and how you want to go forward with the business. So then, realize that if your staff knows, what, again, the goal is of the salon, because it would be actually great, to go back in and, say to your team, okay, you know what? We're out now, we have the freedom, we're here, we have missed our clients, we have missed one another, we just want to get the business up and running again. So, just tell them, okay, so this is what we're focusing. Yeah, so let's get our focus right. It's a new start in a certain way. So let's the focus right. Yeah, so as a salon, this is what we are striving for. This is our mission, this is our goal. Yeah, so get the whole team, inspired because you believe in it. Yeah, you stand 100% behind, what actually is the goal, the daily goal of the salon business. So, try to get them in that from the moment you get back into business, and then tell them as well that from now onwards, your main aim is going to be that, they will be doing what inspires them the most. And then you start the individual conversations with each team member to figure out what motivates them, so that they have the feeling that they come back to something, to a team, to a salon that really cares about them. And then, you have that motivation, you have that inspiration, and as a team, you're just going to lift it. As a manager, you're going to lift the team to a whole different level.
Fab. Okay, great. We are live on Facebook, and we have had a question that's come in from our Facebook Live from Lana, who has asked, since everyone is affected by COVID-19, can you please discuss tips as a manager to overcome the situation in regards to this?
Yeah, again, I believe that, everybody is in the same situation. So how you can overcome this is, again, to stay positive. Yeah, focus on what's next. Again, and I'm telling so many people, is that financially, everyone is in the same situation. Yeah, so if we keep our focus there, again, for some people it's worse, for some, but for everybody it's bad. So, we can't focus on that. So when you come back, you need to make sure that you're stronger than ever. Yeah, so go through, now you have so much time, analyze your business. Where is it that you believe that there is a weakness? Yeah, where do you have areas that you can improve? So focus on that. Analyze your whole business, until the date that, we unfortunately had to close the salons. Yeah, go through it and see, where you feel that instantly you can make a difference. Yeah, so then again, when you go back, go open with a bang. Yeah, so make sure that, again, throughout this whole process, before you open the salon again, that you as a manager or a salon owner, keep your people inspired. Don't let them sit at home. Call them. Yeah, it's not just sending a message, but from time to time, call them, see how they're doing. Yeah, and then try to actually give them some ideas as of, how to keep them motivated. So once you come back, you have a team that knows that you cared, you were in contact with them. Yeah, so, do some Zoom meetings with your team. So just to get inspired by one another, let them be coming up with ideas, give them the chance, the choice, the freedom to, to throw in the group what they believe, would make a difference for the salon, where, as a salon, you can grow together. Yeah, so but keep everyone inspired, analyze your business, and figure out, where your main focus should be when you come back. Yeah, and then again, which I did not mention as of now, is that, have that focus, which, I could do that in a different session. It's not the focus now, but, how can you deliver the best customer service? So go through the whole process. Again, you have time now, the whole process, the whole path that the customers make from making the decision to come to your salon as of leaving your salon. So how is that experience? Yeah, go through it, walk yourself through it, and see where, you have to improve. Because once you come back again, you need to come back stronger and better.
Yes, completely agree. Right, what can you do with a potential employee who lacks engagement?
So again, take that person aside. I would always say, do not treat it with negativity. So just, approach her with a very open mind and ask her, what is going on. Yeah, so again, show her that you realize that there is something. Why do people not engage? There is a reason behind that. And as long as you don't know the cause, there is nothing you can do. Yeah, but again, I always say that just telling that, that team member is negative, that one is not engaged enough, that one is not performing well, there is a reason why. Yeah, so, and if people came into the business because, they are passionate about hairdressing, they're passionate about beauty, they're passionate about nails, so they should be, engaged. So there must be a reason why she's not, and you need to find out what that reason is. And then you can see how you can move forward. Again, I'm telling, over the past, 20 years, I had people on the team that I could not change. Yeah, so you will have team members that, probably just came into the salon because they want a job, they need a salary. And, they are actually not passionate about what they're doing. If you can't get that passion from a team member, again, find the cause, try to change it, try to develop them. But at the moment that you feel that, it's not changing, then it's really time to let those people go.
Okay, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much, Valerie, for your amazing presentation. We've sent your details to the group, so I'm sure there will be a few people that reach out, no doubt. And thank you everyone for joining this afternoon. This is only the first day of our virtual Hair and Beauty Week, so do join us again. And Valerie, thank you so much for your time, and have an amazing evening.
For having me. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone for joining. Have a lovely Easter.
Happy Easter. Take care.
No, see ya. Bye.
Bye.